Hello and welcome to How to Learn a Language. Yeah, the name kind of says it all. I'm Lindsay from Lindsay Does Languages, and I'm here to help you learn languages better, any language, any level. On this podcast, you'll get jargon-free linguistics insights to level up your fluency, practical mindset tips to tackle those inevitable learning wobbles, personal language diaries where I share my own progress and honest experiences, and an exclusive peek behind the scenes of language life. My coaching program that helps people speak fearlessly and intuitively by taking control of your learning without pressure or one-size-fits-all cookie-cutter methods. If you're ready to break free from perfectionism and finally start speaking the language you want, you're in the right place. Want to get started right away? Head to lindsaydoeslanguages.com/free video for your on-demand video training. All right, let's dive in. Hello, welcome back to How to Learn a Language. Today, we're talking all about how Language Life supports different learning styles because it can be frustrating when you join something and it's only after you join that you realize it's not best suited for you, or your preferences, or the way you like to do things. So I want to give you this up front so you can see what we're talking about here when I talk about Language Life. So first up, a quick note on the term learning styles. I'm not using that in a VARC sort of way, visual, audio, reading kinesthetic sort of way. More so, I'm using it as shorthand for learning preferences, right? But that's not as short and catchy for a title. So here we are. And if you're thinking, what is VARC? Then you can ignore everything I just said and carry on. Okay, so the first way that Language Life supports different learning styles is with different support styles. So the way that you get support in Language Life, first of all, one way that might happen is through one-on-one. Another is through the question bank, and another is through live sessions. Let me go into a bit more detail on those. So with the one-on-one in Language Life, you have one-on-one support throughout the program at really strategic points. For example, when you finish a chapter in the self-study library of Language Life, you have the option for one-on-one support. When you complete a milestone in Language Life, you have the option for one-on-one support. When there are extra bonuses or things going on, you get that extra one-on-one support. This is kind of the main way that you can make sure everything is fully covered and fully referenced. This is the main way that you can make sure everything makes sense for you. The second is the question bank. So the question bank is not one-on-one. This is where Language Life kind of being like a group program sort of comes into play. So it's not a group program in the sense that, there are like tons of live group coaching calls to add to your calendar or anything like that. Like there's no pressure to be part of a group if you don't want to. But the question bank is public for people in Language Life, right? So you submit your unlimited questions, as many as you like, as many as you need, and I will respond to each question with its own episode in our private podcast feed, the question bank. Now, the question bank is also organized not just in the podcast feed, but there's like a page for this, a sort of interface for this, where you can search, you can filter, you can sort things. If you want to say, okay, I just want to see what's been asked and what's been answered about the topic of reading or about the topic of mindset, right? You can just search to see what's been asked. Oh, has someone ever asked anything about French? Let me just search French and see what comes up. So it's a really easy to use searchable database of all the question bank history at this point. And that is also where you can get your questions answered in between the one-on-one support. So when you're like working through a chapter and you haven't got to the end yet, you haven't sort of unlocked the one-on-one for that chapter, but you have a question that you want answered, you can submit it to the question bank anytime. This is also really good because it's asynchronous. This doesn't rely on us needing to have matching time zones and calendars and be able to meet at the same time. It's completely async. So if you're really busy and you just want the answers as soon as you can get them, this is the one. And then we do have live sessions, but only occasionally. Like I said, there's not a huge overwhelm of calls to add to your calendar. Instead, we have quarterly cozy chats, and they're intentionally called cozy chats to imply that this isn't a Q&A how-to call. This is a chance to just check in, to speak to other language learners, to speak to me. And we do have a loose topic for these calls. It's like a really nice chance to check in because as well they're not like mega regular. It's great to have that just sort of semi-regular checkpoint, right? And if you like live sessions, you're going to like this. And every now and then as well, there's bonus workshops, bonus trainings. You have throughout your time in Language Life access to anything that I host. So for example, if there is a live event like Grace in Space, you have a free pass to that. So all of that live stuff as well, you get within Language Life. Now, why does this matter? Well, we all want different levels of support, right? Delivered in different ways. And so the whole point is to give you agency over prescription, essentially, right? I'm not giving you a one-size-fits-all magic method because that doesn't exist. Spoiler alert. Instead, I've designed something that puts you in control and lets you get used to trusting in your own process and your own decisions. So you can decide, okay, do I want to ask this on the question bank or do I want to save this for my next one-on-one with Lindsay, right? Now, picking how you want to get support, a big part of you trusting those decisions and getting really confident and feeling like you're in control of your language learning. And honestly, some clients I've never seen on a live session, but that's totally okay because I know that they're submitting weekly wins or they're asking things in the question bank or they are doing their monthly reviews every month, right? Like it's designed to work for you in the best way. Second way that Language Life supports different learning styles is that you have different consumption options as well. So what are the different consumption options? We have in the self-study library video lessons. These video lessons can be watched on 2x speed. There are also transcripts available. There are also lesson summary notes, and there's also the workbook. And there's also subtitles in 11 languages, I believe. So you have multiple ways that you can take in the content from the self-study kind of course side of the program and make sure that it's working for you in the best way. So here's where it does get a little bit varky, if you like, right? If you learn best with visuals, the videos are going to be your core. If you take in info via reading, those video lesson summaries, the workbooks, that's going to be your core. There's no one right way to consume, to take in the content. There's just your way, and that is valid and that is okay. These workbooks, they are basically the only language learning reference that you'll ever need. Like, they're so good. I'm so proud of them. And you get to keep these as well, right? Like, obviously, if after 12 months in Language Life, you decide you don't want to stay on, completely fine. But the workbooks, they're yours forever. So you'll have access to that after your time in the program, which is really cool. And then finally, the final way that Language Life supports different learning styles is that it works in and out of order. So I've designed that self-study library curriculum in 12 chapters that are quote unquote in order, but they also work out of order, right? So your roadmap when you join will help you to figure out the best way for you. Some of us, we don't want to have to think about it. We just want to join something and have things very clearly laid out for us. That is completely fine. And in that case, you can just start from chapter 1 and go straight through the curriculum and you'll get everything done. But I do know that some of us prefer to do things a little bit more custom, and that's fine too. So although I've created the curriculum in order, it can be studied out of order without missing out on anything, as the chapters are relatively self-contained. So it works for those of us who like that order given to us, and those of us who want to be our own boss a little bit more. That when you join, we can work together to create your roadmap based on your current situation, and then you can decide how quickly you want to take things in, which order you want to take things in. So it's completely your call, right? This is very much a program that has been designed to have you at the center of everything. There's no prescription of do it this way, don't do this, don't follow. Like, oh, I hate that so much. Like, we don't need that. If I'm teaching you how to learn languages, and a big part of that is trusting your own decisions and feeling confident in that, I can't then just be giving you something that is like I am telling you the one way to do it, and you are going to follow do's and don'ts. Like, no, I need to give you some agency in the way that you learn about this as well. Like, that's one way that you're going to get better at this. So, yeah, that's what this is all about. If you are curious and you want to learn more, then what I recommend as a start point, well, first of all, you can join right away, right? lindsaydoeslanguages.com/LL to do that. But if you just want to kind of learn a little bit more before joining Language Life, then I highly recommend my free video training for you. It's called How to Finally Learn That Language. You'll be introduced to 5 core principles of language learning. And like I say, these are core principles. This is not like one method to beat all methods. These are things that work across the board, any language, any level. And yeah, you're going to love this. So lindsaydoeslanguages.com/free video if you want to get your hands on that. Otherwise, I'll speak to you soon. If this has sparked something for you, I would love to hear about it. You can email me, lindsay@doeslanguages.com, or share this episode with a friend who's working through something similar, and I'll be back soon. Thank you. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to How to Learn a Language. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. If you're ready to take your language learning to the next level and speak with confidence without the pressure or perfectionism, then check out Language Life. You can find out all the details and join at lindsaydoeslanguages.com/LL. And if you want the first free step today, head to lindsaydoeslanguages.com/free video to get started with a fresh way to learn languages. Until next time, stay fearless, stay curious, so you can learn languages your way.